And he said, well, I don't know, give us a call next week. So I doubt they'll want to come on. And it's amazing. If you want to put something out like this, that's fine. But at least be willing to come on and talk about it. If you're going to have these ideas and write stuff about this about people, man up. You're an officer of the law.
Now, specifically, this MIAC and this...
Page 6, it mentions Ron Paul, by the way.
Yeah, we're going to go over it. The Missouri Information Analysis Center is a division of the Highway Patrol Intelligence Unit, and they give intelligence briefings to the state police and also bring them up to speed on new changes and regulations to traffic and traffic stops. You can go to their website. You can just Google Missouri Information Analysis Center. I printed off their front page. I don't have the exact address, but just Google Missouri Information Analysis Center. Kurt Nimmo linked to it in the article he wrote last night. And this is part of the threat integration centers that they've set up in all 50 states. They have subgroups, and I've seen this in every state. This was written by the ADL of the Southern Poverty Law Center. In fact, you can go to the ADL and Southern Poverty Law Center site, and different pages, different sections, you can just Google the terms and Google the paragraphs, and you won't pull up the MIAC, because we just put it up yesterday. We have the scans up. You will pull up ADL and Southern Poverty Law Center. So this is just lifted directly from that. And they admit that in there. They say it comes from other private sources, and they just compile it, and they lay it into here. And so this is just unbelievably outrageous. Now, specifically, you also asked what the first guy's first name was, and he wouldn't tell you. He just told you his last name. And then you asked the other state police officer that they put you through to what his name was, and he wouldn't tell you the other trooper's first name, but he would tell you his first name.
Yeah, he told me his name. He said, this is Lieutenant John Holtz. And it's funny. On the bottom it says, no report or segment thereof may be released to any media source. Why? What's wrong with that? Shouldn't we all be informed to be looking out for these dangerous people?
Well, it says Ron Paul stickers. I mean, you got a Ron Paul sticker. You've got a Don't Tread on Me sticker.
Libertarian material.
If you've seen Zeitgeist, which is the version that I'm all over, basically my film, large portions, and then America, Freedom to Fascism, and then they put it right next to the Turner Diaries, which was fiction. What the feds planted on McVeigh, and what, a white supremacist deal that calls for basically blasting and killing and, race war and dead cops. Nothing about that in Zeitgeist, which is kind of a, new age PC angle on what we do. Then you've got America, Freedom to Fascism, made by a Jew who's died of cancer. Great guy, Aaron Russo. And then you've got the Turner Diaries. It says, America, Freedom to Fascism, anti-income tax film. How dare them? Zeitgeist, the movie, anti-Federal Reserve film. Turner Diaries, novel that depicts the violent revolution of the United States government and a war that leaves only a white population. This book was promoted by Timothy McVeigh and said to be motivation behind the Oklahoma City bombing.
Oh, promoted. So he went on a book tour for it or something?
So see, the idea, well, no, actually they did send him out on a ledger tour, on a history tour. He went to every patriot group, every gun show, because it came out the feds carried out the bombing to then try to link it to that and talk radio. And of course it blew up in your face, terrorist. We expose you killed your own feds. It's an absolutely documented fact. And by the way, I've been in multiple SWAT team offices and places over the years, like the Travis County SWAT team, and seen the OKC bombing covered up in my films and other films people made on the shelves. And I've been in other police departments and looked and seen my films. And they all know you did it. They know you're murderers. Okay. It goes on here. It says political paraphernalia. And that's what they said when they pulled over Abby Newman in Road to Tyranny at a state police checkpoint in Virginia. No criminal record, buying canning supplies in town. They said, we want to, search you. And she says, this is a warrantless checkpoint. They have these cars stopped. They grab her out, slam her against the car, put her in handcuffs, and then they get out the pocket Constitution, My Film Police State 2000, and they start hyperventilating, going, we got one of the extremists. I can't believe it.
I'm not sure this is legal.
Yeah. And they said, I can't look at this paraphernalia. See, so we see the training on the streets. Militia members, most commonly associated with third-party political groups, it is not uncommon for militia members to display Constitutional Party, Campaign for Liberty, or libertarian material. Oh, how Campaign for Liberty. This is evil. These members are usually supporters of former presidential candidate Ron Paul, Chuck Baldwin, or Bob Barr. They've done national studies where the majority of Americans say they'll vote for a Democrat or Republican, but over 50% call themselves libertarian. So see, half the population are terrorists. Anti-government propaganda militia members commonly display picture cartoons, bumper stickers, It's anti-government propaganda. Bumper stickers that contain anti-government rhetoric. Most of this material will depict the FRS, IRS, FBI, ATF, CIA, UN, law enforcement, and the New World Order in a derogatory manner. How dare us depict the bankers openly bankrupting everything and setting up, quote, a bank of the world that we'll pay taxes to. How dare us? A bunch of Madoffs. Additionally, radical anti-immigration and anti-abortion material may be displayed by militia members. You mean 91% in Gallup polls that say they want to shut down the border and 80% in Gallup polls of Hispanics. You mean those radicals?
Well, and anti-immigration, I don't think anybody's against anti-immigration. They're against illegal immigration.
Exactly. But, they show, if they display American flags, look out.
Right.
If they display the Don't Tread on Me, the Gadsden flag, and it says created by General Christopher Gadsden, is that Gadsden? And utilized in colonial America, this is the most common symbol displayed by militia members and organizations. Now, so here they are demonizing militias. We didn't even have a National Guard till, 1901, 1902. It is the posse the sheriff calls out. It's the fact that we're armed, as all the Founding Fathers said, to protect ourselves from common criminals and tyrannical government, as the Declaration of Independence states. And so this is an illegal criminal government openly waging war on people that follow the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and you dovetail this with the other training manuals that say if you pull somebody over and they talk about, make frequent references to the U.S. Constitution, go ahead and take them in because they're probably terrorists. I've seen that in on-the-rack law enforcement magazines. If you just, folks, all of you should dive into researching even the open source stuff. Write your own articles, send them to us, we'll post them, put them on the Prison Planet forum, because I'm so busy doing other things. I've gotten conditioned to not even cover this because it's just so secondhand to me, second nature. It's just I'm so immersed in it that we all know this here, but the public doesn't, that I tend to not make as big a deal out of this as we should. People think I exaggerate. I tend to not cover the severity and how serious. Alex, you're exaggerating. There's bombings and rocket attacks and thousands dead in Mexico and that it's so dangerous 5 years ago. Now it's all admitted. No, we just are informed and spend our time researching. Recap it, though, for those listening, the state police of Missouri confirm that, yes, this indeed is what they give their officers. Run back through it quickly.
Yeah, so anyway, I called the Missouri Information Analysis Center, and I got a number for a Captain Hull, and I called him. He's at the State Highway Patrol, and I wanted to see if he wanted to come on and talk about the MIAC strategic report, and I gave him the date. I said, we got this in, and if he's interested in coming on and talking about it, we'd love to talk about it. And he confirmed that it was theirs, and he wanted to give me a quote in the beginning, just, well, this is what it is. And he said it was normal operation for officers, and that's his quote, and to receive these reports for, a quote, safety purposes and to track trends or changes. And he said more, but that's what I wrote down, so that's all I want to say that he quoted. But No, it's okay. Let's not be neurotic about this. Yeah. I'm not saying no, come back and tell us. I know you're trying to write as fast as you could. Right.
You can paraphrase. Reporters do that.
Right.
Basically, what else he told you. We want all of it. I'm going to squeeze every drop of information out of you. Right. Rob, be prepared to be interrogated on air when we get back.
Yikes.
You will be interrogated. I'm Alex Jones. The Obama Deception can now be viewed at prisonplanet.tv and downloaded or streamed in super high quality. Get it from there. prisonplanet.tv. Okay, so the state police, 2 different officers from the number we called, confirmed.
Going around taking names.
That's right.
And he decides who to free and who to blame.
And so it's confirmed. We're going to go over it more in the next hour. I'm going to take some calls, get into Cheney. Ran SS-style political assassination team. That's mainstream news.
Reaching down.
It's all part of the freedom. And now their memos are public where they wanted to have a dictatorship and arrest people for free speech and ban free speech. And they said the president could do that. And now Obama agrees and is expanding those powers. I mean, will Obama put a crown on and declare himself God? And the media will say, that's right, presidents are God. If the president, has this unlimited right of kings, I guess he can commit any crime he wants. And the state police, if you talk about it, the feds are there teaching them it's illegal. It's terrorism. Ron Paul's bad. Remember Glenn Beck? I said that was a talking point. I saw it all over every cable news show. These Ron Paul supporters are dangerous. The army and police need to be used against them. Then now he acts like he's our best friend because they realize we're the majority and we're taking over. The people are taking the country back through the political process and through free speech.
And he said his ratings have increased since he started with his new format. Yeah,
of acting like a patriot.
Right.
But he slips in, get Iran, terrorists are going to get you. Al-Qaeda's everywhere, but boy, I don't like that new world order.
Right.
People are like, I like him now, Alex. I don't see what you're saying. Okay, if you want to be suckered, go ahead. But continuing here, Rob, I mean, I understand you scribbled notes and you were being specific with those, but no, tell us what else he said.
Right. Well, he went into, I'll go back over it again. He said that the strategic report, he confirmed that they put that out, and then he said that it's a normal operation for officers to receive these periodic reports for safety purposes and to track trends or changes. And
I understand that's what you wrote, but you're saying he said too much, you couldn't write it all. I mean, he was 20 minutes ago. Tell us.